I'm Emerson Dameron. This is something that happened to me when I was 5 years old. It was one of those days when you wake up and the whole atmosphere of the day just feels weird. Something is way off. You can't tell what it is. People around you are being cagey and they seem to know something you don't know. But when you ask them about it, you don't get good information. It seems like they're hiding something. You're just left to soak in your disorientation. I have these days a lot. The first one that stands out vividly in my memory happened when I was 5 years old. I'm living in a small rural hamlet called Nebo Township, North Carolina. I've recently gotten into the routine of going into school every day, Monday through Friday. And all of a sudden, right in the middle of the school week, my mom tells me, "You're not going to school today." And instead, she drives my brother and me to another little town on the other side of the county called Old Fort to play with our friend Will at his house. Will asks us what's up, and we don't know. Old Fort Elementary is shut down for the day, too. Will's mom has the radio on all day and is pacing around in the kitchen, looking nervous, making phone calls, but she won't tell us what's going on either. We make up games to play, trying to stave off the boredom and weirdness. The adults keep telling us nothing weird is going on. Just relax, have fun, enjoy your day off. So we try to believe them, even though it does not feel that way at all. The next day, we're all back in school. My teacher tells me we were out yesterday because there were some escaped convicts running around loose in Nebo Township, and the whole town had to be evacuated while the police hunted for them. In honor of this, I took a cardboard stencil of Pooh Bear, traced it with a crayon, and drew some black and white stripes on it, so it was wearing a convict's uniform. This is one of my first big creative breakthroughs. You can see he's got lines on him. I didn't really grasp the concept of coloring every other line to make them look like stripes. I just did the whole thing. But this is how my classic character, Convict Pooh, was created. Only years later did I start piecing together what really happened that day. My aunt's mom, Bonnie, was living in Tennessee at the time and was doing volunteer work at a prison in her town. She struck up a relationship with a prisoner named Freeman, which turned out to be an unfortunate name. Ironic nominative determinism is the literary device at work here. Anyway, Bonnie and Freeman became close. Bonnie planned to come stay with my family for Christmas that year in Nebo Township, and she told Freeman about this and gave him my family's phone number in case he wanted to reach out to her for whatever reason. Just somebody to talk to. Holidays get lonely in prison. Or if you're not in prison sometimes. Then Freeman and another guy escaped from prison. They murdered a man in the process of stealing his car, which they used to drive east down Interstate 40 toward North Carolina. They got pulled over by a highway patrol officer, and they murdered him too. Bonnie called my parents and told them this guy might have our phone number. My dad called the SBI and sheepishly told them what was going on and that he didn't really think these guys would try to find us. And then their stolen car was found abandoned in Nebo Township on the train tracks that were right down the hill, visible from the playground of Nebo Elementary School. That's when the manhunt started. The two guys split up in Marion, which is the major metro in McDowell County, North Carolina, in a neighborhood called Stumptown, which is locally known to be full of violent rednecks. Freeman broke into a home occupied by someone's grandmother, who promptly had a heart attack and died. He allowed the family to call 911, which turned out to be a tactical error, as the house was then immediately surrounded by cops. Freeman said, "I'll die before I go back to prison," which he then did. As he started shooting, one of the cops shot him dead through the heart. His accomplice broke into the home of an insane Vietnam vet, a guy who used to be a tail gunner and had an armory in his house. When the guy broke in, the homeowner was just sitting on the couch cleaning one of his guns, which of course was loaded because otherwise what's the point? The convict put up his hands and said, "Don't shoot," and the tail gunner shot him dead. And that was it. The manhunt was over. If they were trying to find our place, they never did. The message of this story is that sometimes when you're having a weird day and you think there must be something weird going on, you're absolutely correct. If you can, surround yourself with people who will tell you what's going on, who are honest, because life is fantastically rich in detail. And the more you get to experience for what it really is, the more vivid your imagination gets, the more you get out of your life experience. Because if the only people around you will try to hide things from you for your own protection or for their own protection, you just end up with garbage like Convict Pooh. Thank you.